Hi, my name is Mitchell Philpott, and today I'm going to demonstrate some of the features that make CURO unique, and I'm going to do so in the context of a local firm who are implementing a new group pension scheme. As you can see from the business card, our senior advisor Roland is an employee benefits consultant with our imaginary advisor firm called Prospero Wealth. Here's Roland in person, and he's delighted because he's just been awarded the task of implementing a new group personal pension scheme for a thriving local business and architectural practice called MacArthur Telling. Roland is shortly going to meet the employees. He's going to meet John Walters, the architect, Stephen MacArthur, the business owner, Sarah Campagno, a senior architect, Helena Smith, the operations manager, Greg, the site foreman, Shaheen, the boss's PA, and Graham, the trainee. He'll meet many more besides because the company employs around 50 people and they're all going to want to know the same things. Why should they join the scheme? What's their pension likely to be worth? What are their options? And of course, how should they invest their money? Frankly, this is the best part of the job for Roland, meeting people, understanding their needs, helping them to make the right decisions. But that's not the only part of the job, and in fact Prospero Wealth has undertaken to perform a series of tasks to ensure that the staff get the right advice and that the employer gets good value for money for the investment that it is going to be making in its staff's retirement prosperity. Roland has agreed to provide seminar-based communications to get the core messages across, individual face-to-face review meetings with each member of staff, fact-finding to enable advice to be relevant to each individual. Roland's team will then be managing the implementation of the plans, and an ongoing service fee has been agreed for the provision of regular updates and reviews to keep the staff informed about how their nest eggs are performing and to provide timely advice at review. Communication is all important, sitting down with each individual, understanding their objectives, looking at past provisions, discussing whether they wish to sacrifice salary in return for a higher contribution in the likelihood of a better pension, analysing needs. They are not only the fun parts of the job, they're also the parts that the clients value the most. Preparing documentation and managing compliance, writing suitability letters, they're all the things that take up time. Form filling, updating systems, managing internal records, they're not the things that clients value. Now Roland is fortunate because he uses a CRM system called CURO, and CURO has a myriad of features which are designed to help him to manage his clients in a much more efficient way than would be possible with traditional back-office systems. CURO offers workflow. It offers intelligent document generation, includes integrations with planning tools, integrations with data sources from leading product providers and platforms, and provides Roland and his team with an unparalleled ability to manipulate data. In short, CURO allows advisors like Roland to spend more time doing the things that their clients value by minimizing the time they spend on the things that the clients value least. CURO helps Roland to deliver a valued ongoing service to clients like MacArthur Telling, and to do so efficiently and profitably. The following video takes just a few minutes but shows some of those features in use and does so in real time. Let's see how Roland's assistant, that's me, uses CURO to manage our advice to this new client. Now I can quickly find the MacArthur Telling Architects record in CURO, and here it is. Unfortunately, I can see that I'm yet to record the employees in the system. However, I have created a record of the group personal pension scheme that we're going to be recommending. Now I want to add all of the employees, and so that I can focus on this as a project, I'm going to use a very handy feature of CURO called Saved Views in order to ring-fence the work that needs to be done and give us a project that my colleagues and I can share and work on together. All I need to do is clear the default find criteria and enter new criteria specifying the employer whose employees I'm going to be working on. Having done so, I can rename and save this view, which when I next click on Contacts lets me isolate just the employees of MacArthur Telling Architects. Now I can add my records, but there's quite a lot of information that I need to fill in, and given I've got over 50 employees to add into the system, I'm going to take a shortcut and add them in bulk from a spreadsheet. Here's a template designed for the purpose. Using this is going to be much quicker than individually creating records in CURO or any other system for that matter. Now the template very usefully provides all of the permitted pick list values allowed by CURO, and by taking this approach I'm going to get good clean data in the system quickly. Now this video isn't meant to be a lesson in spreadsheet completion, so let me just fast forward a few minutes to the finished article. I can see that there is a considerable amount of information that can be filled in this way, and because this is a spreadsheet, I've been able to share the document with the company and get the boss's PA to do most of the work for me. I must check the data for compatibility, and I also have the ability to enrich what the employer has provided by completing the relevant advisor, for example. I have the ability to import the data into CURO, which will save me the job of manually creating all of those records, and I simply follow the on-screen instructions of this data import wizard. I can already see that the data is submitted for import, and I can track the progress of the task that the system is performing. In fact, I can already see that I have 50 new records successfully added to the system in supplement to the one that was created yesterday. Now, as long as I entered the name of the employer correctly in my spreadsheet, when I refresh this list, I will see that I now have 51 employees of MacArthur Telling Associates. That's a great start, and I can use the tools and charts in CURO to analyse my newly created data, the spread of client age, status, pretty much any other way that I want to cut and dice my data. Now let's imagine that Roland has been to the firm and met with the employees, conducting the fact find and done the analysis. He's done the stuff that the clients value most. Now we're at the stage of recording his advice and producing personalised reports and recommendations. Let's use Sarah Campagno, that senior architect that we met at the beginning of this video. I need to record the advice to Sarah, and looking at her contact record, I can see that it's already quite richly populated just from the information that the company supplied, which I imported a few moments ago. What I want to do now is add a recommendation record to record the recommendation that she joins the group personal pension scheme. I'm going to have to do this many times, and so rather than add these records manually, I'm going to use a terrifically valuable feature of CURO called workflow. And the type of workflow that I'm going to use is called a dialogue. In other words, a process that I can follow on screen. All I need to do is follow the on-screen prompts and enter the information that the system demands. Now the group scheme is already completed because there is only one scheme of this employer, otherwise I'd get a list of schemes to choose from. I enter the results of Roland's analysis and select both the agreed risk profile and, corresponding to that, the recommended model portfolio for the client. I enter the employer and employee contributions, and I also have the ability to record whether Sarah has elected to make a salary sacrifice. The system doesn't work out the advice, that's Roland's job as the advisor, but the system makes it incredibly easy to record his professional recommendations and associated charges. The system has automatically generated both a record of the client's attitude to risk and also a recommendation record which I can access here. I'm going to exit this and complete the wizard and review the record that has been created, neatly filed against the contact here. Opening up the recommendation record, I can see how comprehensively complete the record is, given that I spent just a few seconds completing the wizard. That's the power of workflow, and you'll be amazed not only how much time it will save you, but how it can help you to easily standardize how you record your business's data. Now my next challenge is to generate a suitability letter confirming the recommendations that I would like to make to Sarah. Truthfully, this has always been the bit that I found most time consuming and boring, and consequently the most easily prone to error. All those paragraphs to remember, values to insert, templates to alter, optional things to remember to remove, but not anymore. CURO provides highly intelligent document generation. I can use this template by way of a demonstration. Selecting it simply kicks off a wizard. The system recognizes that it needs some data to be provided in order that it can apply its intelligence to the generation of the report. Here are the dynamic fields that I need to complete in order to generate my suitability letter. Whatever I enter here will give the system what it needs to apply its logic to automatically insert my relevant paragraphs, to intelligently remove others, to mail merge Sarah's data, and to create a highly personalized document using our own company's standards. The next step enables me to select the format of the document, and selecting next again enables me to decide whether I wish to email the document straight away, whether I want to print it to a local printer, or whether I want to create an activity and have the document stored automatically in CURO for sending later, maybe after it's been reviewed and signed off by a colleague. Here I can see that my PDF document has been created in just a few seconds. What's important to note about CURO's intelligent document generation is that the paragraphs are entirely personal to your firm. There are no limitations in terms of branding. This document was authored using Microsoft Word, and when designing it, the user had all of Microsoft Word's formatting available to create documents which truly represent the business's brand, the style, the words. They are all yours without compromise. Setup takes a little bit of effort, but your company documents are probably already written in Word, and once they're in CURO, everyone can use and prepare beautifully rich personalized documents in no time at all, just like I've done here. I can see that I've got a nicely formatted content page, an introduction to the advice, background to the meeting that Roland had with Sarah, the attitude to risk that was agreed with the client as captured in the dialogue but expressed graphically in my report, alongside the corresponding model portfolio that Roland is going to recommend. I can see that the system has created a beautifully rendered covering page for me. However, there's a problem. I'm actually not going to issue this document to the client, as I want to add an additional note about the retained benefit that the client has in the occupational scheme of their previous employer, and I want to add something personal in that respect. I need to add into the document a quick note regarding fees for our advice in connection with that, and I'm therefore going to regenerate the document, but this time as a Microsoft Word document where it's completely editable. After a few clicks and a couple of seconds, here is the Word document, which if I select Edit enables me to edit the document just as I would any other Microsoft Word document. The particular paragraph that I'm interested in is this one here, and I can see that the system intelligently entered our standard acknowledgement of the Barclay Pallet Architect scheme, but I want to add a note about our fees because the client specifically said to Roland at the meeting that she thought that the value of the retained benefit was quite small and she didn't want to spend too much money analysing it. Now I just want to acknowledge that and put her mind at rest. Okay, I'm now happy I've done that, and I wanted to share this document with the client, so I click on Share, as I want to share the document via email. In fact, I want to send the document as an email attachment. Now, the considerable advantage of CURO is that it integrates fully and seamlessly with Microsoft Outlook, as you can see. Here I am in Microsoft Outlook, and selecting Contacts enables me to select Sarah's email address. The list already contains all of the MacArthur Telling employees, which were synchronized automatically into Outlook when I imported that spreadsheet into CURO. By selecting Sarah, I can send the email. But before I do, I of course want to record a message that I can either write longhand or select to insert a pre-formatted Prospero Wealth Company standard. The template warns me that I will overwrite the subject header, which I'm happy about, and with just a couple of clicks I have my suitability report and my covering note written and sent. Now, I don't have to save the Word document because, of course, the covering email and documents are stored in my outbox in Outlook, but that's not all. By clicking the link back into CURO, I can see that my email and the accompanying document have been automatically stored against the client's record, already forming part of the audit trail of my activity with this client, immediately available to my colleague should anyone speak to the client and want to know what's been sent. So I've pretty much done what I said I was going to do for Sarah. All I need to do now is refer back to my project list of employees within MacArthur Telling here in Outlook, where I can tick this one off to say that the report has been issued. Just 50 more to do before tea.